Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with a really cool 22 pistol. This is the Browning Arms Black Label 1911 chambered in 22 long rifle. You guys know that John Moses Browning invented the 1911? Well, the company that bears his name had a great idea. Let's scale down the 1911 and chamber it in 22, and I think they also offer a 380 version of this. I've never shot any of these kind of micro 1911s. It's not an officer 1911, it literally is just a scaled down government model. I'm kind of excited to shoot this thing. Well, this is going to be my first rounds. Well, I gotta say, I'm pretty darn impressed with this thing. Of course, I was running some CCI mini mags through that, which is some of the best 22 ammo you can get out there for range purposes. The recoil, of course, is just that of a 22. The ergonomics feel great. I think my only complaint of it is that it might be a little bit too small for my hands. Maybe they scaled it down just a little bit too much, but so far, it's working great. So I'm gonna load up the magazine again, give you guys some more of my thoughts when I get a little bit more time on this thing. So the controls of this gun feel just like a regular 1911, and they all work. Even the grip safety in the back works. You have an ambidextrous thumb safety as well. There is another safety in this gun that I'm not a big fan of. There is a magazine disconnect. So if the magazine is out of the gun, the trigger will not drop the hammer. I don't like that. It doesn't seem to affect the trigger pull at all, but I bet people that know a lot about the mechanics of 1911s would take this apart and remove that to make it the nicest it could be. I wish they didn't offer that. But this is my second magazine. I gotta say, the 3-dot system that they use for the sights here is really nice. It's very big. You can see them easily. I don't know if they're interchangeable with anything else, maybe because they scaled down the gun. I don't know what kind of options they would offer, but they're high visibility. They're easy to acquire on the target, so I do like that. I think I had a pretty good grouping there on the head, so I'll bring in the target. And for being such a small little range gun, I gotta say, I'm pretty darn happy with how it shoots. Of course, you guys know that 22 pistols can be a little bit finicky when it comes to ammo, so we're going to try, besides the CCI mini mags, we got some Blazer and some Federal Target Grade Performance 22 long rifle. I'm going to start off here with this magazine with the Blazer and see how it does. Well, that seems to work just fine. So far, I haven't had a single malfunction with this gun. I think that says a lot. 22s can be really, really finicky. I gotta say, as I'm shooting this more, the size is really growing on me. I don't think I would want one chambered in 45 this size, but for 22, it seems to work just great. I really like the aesthetics of this too, and I'll show more close-ups when I get this back to the garage. But this gun has all of the modern 1911 stylings, from G10 grips to a very nice beaver tail grip safety. It has a hollowed out trigger. It has Novak dovetailed sights, a combat style hammer. They really went all out on this. I'm kind of impressed. So as always, I want to get my wife's perspective on these guns. She loves 1911s and guns chambered in 22. I really think she's going to like this, especially because of its size. Let's see what she thinks. And as I suspected, Becky really liked the gun. It shot really well for her, but like always, her nails dug into her non-shooting hand. I keep telling her she needs to have priorities. Get rid of those nails or go shooting. What's more important? I guess she wants to be a princess and always look pretty. So the trigger on this pistol is really nice. It has a very short take-up and a great reset. I'm kind of curious how fast I can shoot this thing. My trigger finger isn't that fast, but let's find out. I'm pretty impressed. So all I can say is that was one fun range trip. Getting to put this little Browning through its paces. I put a lot of rounds through this thing just because it was a lot of fun. I really think they've hit it out of the park with this awesome little 1911 chambered in .22. It is just really cool. I think they first offered them years ago in .380 and then finally realized, hey, we should offer a .22 version of this. And that was a great choice. And as I mentioned, I really like the fact that this is just a scaled down version of a 1911 versus it being a full-sized, that they had to use cheaper and lighter materials to make work and have the slide function like it normally would. It appears that many of the internals and the way that it works is very similar to a 1911, but obviously it's not the same because you're only going to have direct blowback with a .22. It does have that magazine disconnector safety, which I'm not a huge fan of. If a full-size 9mm or 40 caliber doesn't need one, a .22 doesn't need one either. I understand it's for safety purposes and especially for novice shooters, but I don't find them to be that important, and they only hurt the trigger pull. And when it comes to a .22, the trigger pull has got to be super crisp and super light, because a lot of times people are using these for fun plinking guns and they want the best accuracy. And when you add that magazine disconnect, it can add a little bit of grittiness to the trigger. Now I do have to say the trigger on this is pretty good. And that has to do a lot because it borrows so much from the 1911 and it's single action only. But I think that magazine disconnect does add a little bit of grittiness or weird take-up that could be eliminated. But that's just what Browning decided to do. And I was thinking that maybe they added it for importation reasons, but I don't think that's the case because these are made in the United States as far as I can tell, because I don't see any importation markings. And the only marking I see on it is Browning Arms Company, Morgan, Utah. So as far as I know, they're made in Utah. The materials of this gun seem to be very high quality. It feels solid, and that's something I really do like about it. And then talking about all the features that are packed into this. You have front strap checkering, you have back strap checkering, you have a very nice beaver tail grip safety, a combat style hammer, dovetailed sights, it has a threaded barrel, a rail, G10 grips, a combat trigger. It's really, really nice. You have so much that is just packed into this thing, just scaled down. It feels super high quality. The only issue I think I may have with it, to be honest with you, is its size. It might be a little bit too small for my hands, but I think for a lot of shooters, it'd be perfectly fine. So when it comes to using this as a training gun for a full-size 1911, I think many things would scale up, but because of its size, it might not be the same for some people, especially people that are very skilled and used to the 1911. It does kind of feel like it's a different gun entirely just because of the scaling, but the manual of arms is exactly the same. I'm also curious about these dovetailed sights because the slide is so thin, I don't know if you would ever be able to find replacement sights for them outside of ones that maybe Browning sells. The accuracy on this gun is outstanding. The trigger pull is pretty good. Construction, fit, finish, very nice. Very reliable. I never even had one hiccup with this gun, and normally with a .22 pistol, you're gonna have something. Something's gonna happen, a failure to feed, failure to eject. It's just the nature of rimfire and .22 in general. And I didn't have that, so I think that they've really taken their time and designed something internally really, really nice. So everything about this gun gets very, very high marks for me. I'm very interested in trying the 380 version of this out. I think the 380 might actually be a pretty decent carry gun. Now, obviously, this one being chambered in 22, I wouldn't carry it. But as a range plinker, absolutely. So I'll give you guys one more close-up here of this really attractive, beautiful 1911 from Browning. Great shooter, awesome range gun, beautiful plinker, so much fun. And if you're looking for a high quality 22 to take to the range, I would definitely take a look at this. I don't think I really have anything negative to say about it. And the only thing I really have said that was negative was the size, but that's very qualitative because of the shape and size of my hands, and that's it. So I'm not going to deduct any points for that. So I believe this one has hit it out of the park, and Browning has done an amazing job. So I'm going to give this one a perfect 5 out of 5. You have so many options with it. So many things that come feature packed in this pistol, including the rail. So if you do want to add a laser or a light or some type of accessory, you can. While I don't recommend carrying 22 for self-defense, you absolutely could. It's just a very high quality 22. Easy to disassemble. It's very intuitive if you're used to the 1911. I give it a perfect score. Ran great, no problems whatsoever, but it is a Browning, and that's just what you would come to expect from that company. So there you go. So nothing negative to say. Do you guys own one of these scaled down 1911s from Browning? What do you think? And do you like the one in 380? I'd love to know your thoughts. It's one of the guns that's kind of on my short list. Maybe one day I'll get to shoot one. So there you go. So let me know if you have any questions or comments in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.